When I record podcasts, I like to stay hydrated. Who knew talking could be so hard? My favourite drink to have to hand is Lifeline's Hydro OG. It's a tried and tested product for me. It helped me and my team complete a 24-hour podcast, giving us the edge that we needed to get over the finish line. So whether you're at the gym, on a bike ride, or just trying to get over that night before, Lifeline's Hydro OG has got your back. Each serving is stocked with all the healthy ingredients and vitamins you could ask for. There are a great range of flavours, and with each serving at only 18 calories, you really can't go wrong. Here at the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast, we like to support local, independent companies and brands, and Lifelines is a product that I am proud to endorse. Go to lifelines.com. Now that's LYFELINEZ.com to find out more. Now, without further adu, here is today's episode. Hey guys, and welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley, and this is the first interview we're going to be recording for the year. It's a bit late on, isn't it? But I was really ill. Me and my family, we had a terrible ordeal with a chest infection. We all had it at the same time. We all started antibiotics at the same time. It was just nuts. Our house was like an infirmary over Christmas. I was like having uncontrollable coughing fits. I was at bad nausea, bad temperature. It was horrible. I lost my voice from straining from coughing. It was, it was an interesting time to be alive for us in the Whiteley house. And so it kind of scuppered our chances to get lots of interviews and things. Also, one of my New Year's resolutions, which I'm going to speak to later on in this podcast, is about sort of recognizing boundaries and knowing when and when not to look after myself more than the things around me, rather than, so like if I'm poorly and I need time with my family to recover, then that's the most important thing rather than the biscuit. Whereas before, I would probably push myself and probably make myself even more ill. So it's kind of the process. And if you weren't listening to this and thinking, why am I hearing Alex's voice and not the intro to the Shrewsbury Biscuit? Well, it's because I'm changing the format a little bit. I think it's going to be quite a refreshing thing for us to have like a bit of a personal sort of what we've been up to during the week, what's going on in Shrewsbury, what's new, is when new shops opened, and just to have that little bit of downtime before we start the actual feature interview. So that's what this is. So hi. Now, you're about to meet the new co-host for the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Somebody's going to come out, help us out as much as she can. She's been on the podcast before. She was on Pod Aid. And it's Verity Jane. Verity Jane is someone that's been on the biscuit, and every time she comes on the biscuit, she gets so much positive warmth back off the interviews that we do. When I threw out a post saying I needed help, because I do need help with the Shrewsbury Biscuit, it's a lot to take on. Verity came back to me and said that she'd like to help out. So very naturally and very quickly, it was the easiest yes I've ever had to make because we get on so well, and she is a very positive a presence to be around. So Verity is going to be helping out. So this interview is going to feature Verity, and we're going to be introduced to her properly, and you guys are going to get to know a bit more about her. When we were speaking to Lorraine, which it was really cool because dealing with the issues that she faced, her and Lorraine had to sort of face together. They had that in common, whereas this is all just about Verity and finding out about her. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet her. She's going to help us out an awful lot. So the new format of the show is we're going to have a catch up, me and Verity, at the beginning of every episode. But you haven't been introduced to her yet, so it doesn't make sense for her to be on this one. So that's what this episode is going to be. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like thinking, if only we could get on the Shrewsbury Biscuit and tell people about things that's going on this week or what have you, then this is a great opportunity to do that. You can now send in sort of press releases, or you can even call up. You can ring me on the phone and we can do that with Verity and talk about whatever you've got going on this particular week, and keep in touch with what's going on. So yeah, this is really good. We can also do Q&As and things on. And we can do polls and things on social media. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to keep this one short. I'm going to keep this one to sort of around 5 minutes because me rambling for a bit is just I don't know. I feel like this episode is that good. You don't want to hear me rambling on, but it's going to be about 15 minutes of just us chatting. And what I do want to say is I hope you guys had a great festive period. I know not everybody does Christmas and New Year, but during that time, I hope you guys have all been well and you've had a bit of positivity come your way. If not, I hope you are dealing with things the best way you can. And this is going to be a really exciting thing for us, the Shrewsbury Biscuit. We've got a new co-host, a new format, a new way of doing things, and me, a new mindset. You know, I'm not going to be a yes man anymore. I'm going to be thinking very carefully about decisions that I make and whether they're good for me, my family, and ultimately the Shrewsbury Biscuit. So yeah, and there's a few ideas that people will come up with as well about what we can do, and people we can speak to. One of which I want to speak to. Has anybody heard of Dry by Choice? It's a shop on Wild Cop, and it's a shop that sells non-alcoholic beer. I've got invited to a tasting session there, which is really, really cool. I might have to have a look at that tonight, see if I can get there, because I remember a few years ago I tried non-alcoholic beer and it was bland. It was terrible. It was like watered down Weetabix. It was really, really bad. So it'd be, the beers that they're selling sound really, really good. So I'm gonna reach out to them and see if there's any way we can do an interview, take some mics in and speak to them. But this is the kind of thing I like to do, is find out about independent businesses. And I know over the last few months things have changed and lots of new businesses have rolled into town, and there's lots of pop-ups happening and interesting people to speak to. So this is I'm going to get my ear to the ground and find out what's going on. And I could do with a bit of help with that. If there's anybody listening to this that's thinking they could possibly help me out, I'm looking for a producer that can work back, sort of behind the scenes, trying to find us interviews, filling up our schedule, and maybe even if I could teach someone how to edit so we can help out with a bit of post-production with a Shrewsbury Biscuit, because there's a few big ideas that I'm working on at the moment. If I have more time to look at them as well as host the show and other things, then we can make the show grow and help it to grow into something that I feel like it deserves to be. I mean, the Shrewsbury Biscuit's been around for a while now, and we got a good reputation, I believe. So help bringing people in and finding interesting interviews is vital. So if anybody wants to help out with that, please get in touch with us. And also as well, if you want to come on the show, I'm always looking for interesting people to speak to. But anyway, look, that's less of my rambling. This is a great interview with Verity. I hope you enjoy it. And I'd love to hear off you guys. Drop us a message on Facebook. I know a couple of people have over the last couple of weeks about potential things that we can cover on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Some people sent some nice comments to say thank you. And I know a few people enjoyed the Biscuit International interview that we did with Christina Hill. They had some really nice comments about that. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with what's going on with horses and biscuits as well, because it's gonna move away from the Shrewsbury Biscuit. We need to stay streamlined. With more information about that in this episode. Anyway, right, let's get on with it. Enjoy the show, and thank you for tuning in. Guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit Podcast, the first time we're recording in 2023. I haven't recorded in weeks. I'm sat here and I was about to hit record and say, oh my god, which buttons do I press and where's the things and the thing? And yeah, it's been about, I gotta say, two and a half weeks, possibly 3 weeks since I've recorded an episode of Shrewsbury Biscuit properly.
Enough time for it to fly out of your head.
Yeah. I thought it was like riding a bike. You never forget. But obviously, there's a few things that you need to remember. And it's like I explained. I was talking about live audio with someone the other day, because there's a few opportunities coming my way soon, which is nice and everything. But I was like, I need to be in a live setting if it's going to be the particular thing that I want, because it's like weight training. You know, the more you do it, the stronger you get. And then when you let go, you kind of let go a bit, you know. So talking behind a microphone is like weight training.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Does this mean it's like a fitness thing?
No, I mean, it's like the more you do it, the better you get, because like there's a lot of improvisational skills that you need to sort of keep on top with. I think.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a confidence thing. I mean, when you're on a roll, you do things things become easier, don't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so doing the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I mean, I've been doing little bits. We were recording Biscuit International, which was good.
Yeah.
Which isn't going to continue, but I'm going to release the podcast anyway. I'll explain that in a second. I'll explain why. But it was fun though. See, a few years ago, it was a few months ago, I ended my opportunity to speak to people from all around the world. So we had a podcast called You Suck, US UK. And then we had a worldwide team. I mean, if you watch Pod Age, you got introduced to a lot of the team from around the world. We had George Lugo in California, and David Raby also in California. We also had Tom Bruno, who's in Vermont. We had Eric Pfluger in Florida. We had Lucy Orchard, who's down south. We had people all over the place,
everywhere.
We had loads of places. Tom and Jamie as well. They did USUC Chronicles. It was fantastic, and we were speaking to like celebrities from everywhere in the world. It was amazing. We spoke to Carol Baskin, you know. Spoke to
That's insane.
Yeah, Billy West. We spoke to Billy West.
Did you sing at her, Carol Baskin?
No. So I made the conscious. So like it was a decision that caused a lot of issues amongst the team.
Right.
Which I won't go into because I think it's probably still a bit raw, to be honest. But we spoke to Carol, and we made the conscious decision not to speak about Tiger King.
I think that's probably wise.
Yeah, we want to talk about conservation.
Very, very controversial.
Yeah.
For her, no doubt.
Yeah, well, we didn't want to like gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, because she just put the phone down.
Got you trapped.
Yeah, and she's remained friends with me actually. It's weird. Friends with Carol Baskin. But no, it was really funny because we were supposed to speak to a voice actor who did like voices for Call of Duty and things like that, right?
Yeah.
And he cancelled on us, which is it happens, you know. It's fair enough. It's not an issue. And so my wife found that you can like book time slots for Carol on her website, and we were like, okay, cool. So we booked it, and there's me and Tom. So Tom's in Vermont, and Kaz is sat on my bed, and we're just chatting amongst ourselves, thinking she's not going to turn up. There's no way. There's no way she's going to turn up. And bam, she pops up on screen. My wife goes, oh my God. She runs out of the room. And I'm going to Tom in the chat like, oh my God.
She's here.
Because like, this is a woman that's notoriously sued people for just making the wrong comments or doing the wrong thing, you know. So we had to like be really careful.
Yeah, she's fierce.
Yeah, and so... And we were like, okay, okay, Carol, we're not gonna really talk about the show. We want to talk about conservation and sort of like your plans and with your zoos and stuff. And she's like, fine. We hit record, and she went, hey there, are you cool cats and kittens? And I was just like, oh my God.
Oh my God, I bet that was surreal.
Yeah, but I mean, like it was like we spoke to like actresses like Tanisha Collins starting out in her career. She was in a film with Kevin Hart, and you know these actors and these people that make things as well. I mean, Billy West is just like one of the biggest voice actors on the planet. He did Fry in Futurama. He's the Red M&M.
Right.
Like he's one of the biggest voice. Like it's not many bigger. He did Bugs Bunny in Space Jam. To get to speak to heroes like that was just amazing. And when we killed USUC, because we released USUC April 2020, when everybody in the world was releasing a podcast because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we killed that. So Biscuit International was like my way of being like, okay, so maybe we can like marry up the Shrewsbury Biscuit and what I used to do.
Yeah. Amalgamate them.
Yeah, and the guys at TV Guestbook are publishers we worked with in America. So if you've got a book out or you've got a specialist skill and you want to sell a book, you go through TV Guestbook, and that's their job. And we worked with them for 2 years with USUC, and they send us guests from all around America to talk about the book or what it is they do. And we worked with them for a long time. So naturally, I wrote to TV Guestbook and was like, I'm doing Biscuit International. And they sent me some amazing guests. We spoke to Larry Carlson, who is revolutionizing care for Alzheimer's and dementia in America.
Wow, good.
He's creating a village rather than a care home.
Do you know what? I love that concept. I used to work in a care home, and they were sort of trying to go down that route. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of difference between a standard care home and then one that is a living environment, more, you know,
Yeah, they just wheel you into a room.
Yeah, like the
Put countdown on, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But where they're like, oh, there's a laundry shop there, there's a laundrette, there's your local newspaper,
record shop where you can go buy
record
LPs.
shop,
Yeah.
supermarkets.
Yeah.
I think those sort of things are lovely.
We spoke to Christina Hill as well, who is the channeler for Othello. Have you heard of channeling before?
No.
It's where a sentient being takes over the body of the person who they channel their spirits.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I've heard of that. I hadn't heard the term though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Christina Hill, she was she was a victim of rape, and she was like homeless, and she was like properly lived in a adverse world, and then she found Othello, which helped her, and then she's helped others, and now she helps tens of thousands of people around the world.
Good on her.
Yeah,
that's the way to heal.
Yeah, she was fantastic. It's weird. It's because like it's not the kind of world I'm used to.
Yeah,
being around. So it's like, but I consider myself a good journalist. I'm not a qualified journalist, but I can have conversations with people about anything, and I really enjoyed speaking to her. So
yeah.
Jackie Jordan, we spoke to, the CEO of TV Guestbert. We worked together for a couple of years. She's amazing. She invited me virtually to her birthday, which a couple of years ago, and that was really cool. I was like, her husband set up the camera. And it was in what's it called? I've forgotten the name of it. I think it said Sheriff Hales. She wasn't in Sheriff Hales, guys. She was in America. But anyway, her husband set up the camera at this music venue where they were setting up for her birthday. And he was like, right, see you later. And he just left me chatting to the guests virtually on Zoom. And I was just like, hey, and they loved me apparently, but like...
Was it just you on Zoom? Or
no, there was a few others as well around America and around the world.
A lot of people there as well.
Yeah, and they were popping in front of the camera, and they're like, I was like, hi,
hello.
I'm just a random British bloke she put on camera. You know, it was really wonderful.
Hello, how do you do?
We had a great working relationship over the last couple of years. So good chatting to her. And Peter Bedard, who was a found dancer, who had a terrible accident. Somebody knocked him off his scooter, and they pretty much crushed all his bones in his body after being a found dancer as well. You know,
yeah.
And Western medicine didn't do an awful lot for him. Mentally, they really just obviously there are the operations and things that built his body back together, but mentally, like, he was on these drugs that just weren't great for him. So he found holistic ways to heal himself. And
nice.
so I've done that Biscuit International. We're going to do 2 more episodes, I think. Then we're going to can it because the biscuit needs to be a bit more streamlined. There's a few things that need to happen. Horses and Biscuits is another thing that needs to go, unfortunately.
And what's that?
So Horses and Biscuits was a show we were doing with Rocking Horse Media. And we were following the TV production of a care home drama that they were making.
Right.
And it went from an idea to a TV pilot to an amazing partnership with Derwent College in Oswestry, who work with special needs education. And they've done amazing things building this amazing They've got an amazing cast now for this care home drama. You know, they got actors from Doctor Who and Harry Potter, and you know, they've got an amazing cast there that's been built together. And I love them. I think they're great. But what we might have to do is take Horses and Biscuits and make it something separate away from the Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Got you, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, well, I've never known what this Horses and Biscuit stuff is, some of you might enjoy it. It's not going away. It's going to move. And you're not going to get it on the Shrewsbury Biscuit anymore.
It's been rebranded.
Yeah, because I think it needs to just be Shrewsbury Biscuit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've rambled on about all that sort of stuff. I've been on podcasts as well. Big shout out to Iron and Webb down in Nashville. I went on his podcast. He's called Yo, Did You See That? And it's basically they take current news stories that are just bizarre. It's kind of what I used to do with an old show I used to do and talk about it. And Alyssa Shirk as well, I went on her podcast. She's in Oregon, Portland, and I went on a show, Dissolving Fear, where I talked about my social anxiety.
Oh, goodness. How did that feel to do that? Was it a little bit like cathartic for you? Or?
I always talk. I never stop talking about it.
Oh, good.
Never. I'm always talking about it. It's a weird one because I'm very self-aware of it. So I know how to talk about it, but at the same time it feels weird to talk about it because I get anxious talking about it. It's weird. when someone asks you to talk about your problems and your issues, you feel like you're talking too much. And that's my issue. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think what you're talking about and what you're saying is no doubt helpful for other people to listen to, because not everyone can talk about their problems and their issues. Not everyone even understands or has the insight enough to identify what the issues are or where they're coming from. So if you've got that ability and that insight in yourself, sharing that, I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, but I never shut up about it. I was nervous today. This is the first podcast I've done of the year.
Yeah.
And it's with somebody I know and got on well with.
2023.
So, yeah. So, this year's going to be a transformative one for the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I know a lot of people say that, but we're going to be looking at ways to sort of, I've always been transparent with how I do things, but we're looking at ways of making the Shrewsbury Biscuit more run a bit better as far as advertising and funding and kind of being a bit more glossy.
Spread the good word.
Yeah, because I hate to call this thing a hobby, but it has felt like a bit of a hobby over the last few years because, I've built a good reputation. People enjoy the show, but I want to focus on it being kind of more of a business.
Yeah.
In a way. And I got Nick Jones to thank. He's been on the show a couple of times. Great guy. I got him to thank for helping me find ways to make things a bit more streamlined. So thank you, Nick, for agreeing to meet with me and talking sense to me. And one of the changes that I'm going to make is I'm going to bring in people to help me because I struggle a lot with. It's a lot to carry on my shoulders, finding the guests and speaking to the guests and editing. I love it. But if we can find people to help me do those sort of things as well, I can then concentrate on the bigger picture and things. So that's why I've asked Verity to come on.
Yay.
Yeah, well, I put a thing out, didn't I, saying I want if anybody can help out, and you answered the call. You answered the call.
I did answer the call. It sounds like a wonderful opportunity, and I just hope I'll be able to help because, you by the sounds of it, you're just getting busier and busier and busier, and I think it's amazing. What an opportunity! I'd love to help. Yeah,
thanks. Be great. It'd be great.
I hope I'm not useless.
Do you know what? I do this with like a little man jumping inside me going, "This is scary." I'm pretty sure you'll be absolutely fine. Going to an event with a microphone is actually quite nice because after a while I find myself, I've talked myself into enjoying the event that I'm in.
Yeah.
It sounds daft. So I'll go and speak to, okay, so are you enjoying the event tonight? Yeah, it's really good. There's all these people here. Yeah, go to the next person. So what's the best thing you enjoy about today? Oh, the music's great. And before I get to the third one, I'm kind of like, oh, yeah, this is a really cool event.
Yeah, this is good. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we need to do, though, is we need to give our listeners an introduction to how we met, because they may not have paid attention, may not have watched Pod Aid, maybe listen to the show for the first time, but
sure,
that's where we first met, as Pod Aid.
It is, yeah. When was it? September, October?
Yeah, end of September. End of September. Feels like forever ago, but it really wasn't.
Ages ago.
So Pod Aid was great. I don't really mention too much, but obviously it was a 24-hour podcast we put together to raise money for Lincoln Davis. We raised over £1,300, which was great. I'm really proud of that. And it was a 24-hour live thing, and we got 24 guests to sit with my team and talk about their own experiences and things that they did to help people. Some people were celebrities and actors, and we had people like Rob Chapman, who does hypnotism and music, that talk about his thing. We had loads of great people talking about their experiences, but your experience was obviously about I'd heard from you from Lincoln Davis about the great work you do about vocalizing your struggles with cancer and your family struggle with cancer. And
don't shut up about it, do I?
But it's like you talking about my experiences, and how it helps other people. I feel like the help you've offered to people is immeasurable.
Oh, I hope so. I hope it's been received in the way that it's been intended. I just wanted to be open and honest about it, especially over like social media, because you get a lot of flowery things over social media. Life's great. Look at me and how brilliant it is. And I was like, actually, not that fantastic at the moment. No. Here we go. Let me give you a lowdown. But I'm quite a positive person anyway, so I did it in a way that I was hoping would. People would respond to it, and
you had a unique experience. Obviously, I mean, I hope you don't mind talking about this publicly if you don't.
You go for it.
But you know, so going through going through the trauma that you went through with your sister at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, because you were both diagnosed very similar time, weren't you?
Yeah. So Maxine, my sister, had been ill for a few months, and she had lots of ailments that she was going to the doctors about, and they did various tests, and you know, she went from being able to run 5K one week to barely being able to walk the next because she was in so much pain. And eventually she did get a diagnosis in February 2020 of ovarian cancer. But in January 2020, I'd found a lump in my left breast. I was 34 at the time. And I was going through my own diagnostic investigations. And a week after she got her diagnosis, I got mine. So it was pretty mind-blowing. But I actually didn't tell many people at the time because obviously everyone was aware of Maxine and how poorly and ill she was. Excuse me. And we, at that point, had a treatment plan for Max. We knew she was going to start chemotherapy. She was going to have surgery. And at that point in my diagnosis, all I had is the diagnosis. I didn't have a treatment plan. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to add more stress to the family and friends in telling them because all they want to know is, well, what's happening, what are they going to do, can they cure it, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, well, I don't know. I don't
Pandora's
have those
box.
answers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've not got those answers, so I want to avoid those questions for a little bit. So I waited, and I did tell Maxine, and I think I told her just one or two friends just in case I needed a shoulder, or my husband at the time needed a shoulder. But yeah, then I had some tests, and actually, because it was right at the beginning of the pandemic, it seemed to be going on forever because the world felt like it stopped a little bit, didn't it? And it was just like, oh my God, what's going on? So I did end up telling people. But yeah, I got my diagnosis. I don't know, I started my treatment I had emergency fertility preservation treatment. I had 2 rounds of that because I hadn't had children. And then had, what did I have first? I had mastectomy. And as soon as they said I needed a mastectomy, I was like, just, can you take them both? Because I thought, oh, what's the point in only having one? Just get them gone.
Reduces the risk of further complications.
Exactly, yeah. I just thought, but because it was COVID, they were doing life-saving only. So they were like, no, we're just taking the one for now. But then after I had that, I had chemotherapy. Then I got, because I was referred to genetics.
That must have been like symmetry and feeling like that whilst you're going for the treatment.
Do you know
must have felt like half butchered, you know.
I didn't really care that much.
Did you not?
No. I'm surprisingly... it didn't bother me. I walked around a little bit wonky for a little bit. If I was going out or when I started work again, I'd wear a prosthetic. But other than that, I was like, bad is what it is. Everyone knows what's going on. I've been really open about it. So
I guess when it's your life that's been saved,
yeah,
you do what you can.
Yeah. I was like, and same with my hair falling out and Maxine's. We both were just happily bald. And at the time, it was when you had to go for a wig fit and you had to go to the wig shop and it was COVID. And we were like, oh, do you know what? I'd rather not. I'm happy being bald. And yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I had bald head.
Again, that...
Wonky boobs.
But again, I mean, people might be listening to this thinking, do you know what? I'm doing the same. Do you know what I mean? They might hear this.
Yeah.
And be like, people don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody. I know some people who have gone through treatment and they've been devastated about being a little bit wonky or being bald. And absolutely. But yeah, for me, it wasn't that big of a concern for me. I just rocked a bald head and a wonky. And
because this all happened so quickly, doing your first rounds of treatment as well must have been like, what? How did I get here? Like,
yeah, it is a bit of a whirlwind time. It's sort of, you feel like you spend ages in limbo while you're having the tests, and then with mine, it was a fast growing cancer. So I think one test 1 week, it was measuring 5 centimeters, and the next scan a couple of weeks later, it was 7, and then they needed another scan, and I was just like, oh my God, it's growing so quickly. Can you get it out of me? It got to the stage where I could feel it. It was like a rock. It felt massive, and I could see it. It was starting to see it on my skin. I just thought, oh, this is horrible. So by the time my operation came, I was like, get it gone. I don't want to see it anymore. It's horrible. But yeah, it is a whirlwind time.
Yeah.
Loads, but a limbo time as well, because you're just waiting for those scan results and scans and stuff. But
Yeah. I think I remember you talking Pod Aid, and it felt like you were consoling people more than they were consoling you.
yeah, there was that. So I think, I mean, there's no denying that cancer is, it ruins lives.
Of course.
You know, it ruins elements, you know, even when you survive it, there's a part of your life that is gone. But I don't know, it's hard to describe. But for me, I'm quite matter of fact, I'd had quite a lot of, I would call it trauma before I had my cancer diagnosis. I'd had 7 pregnancy losses in first and second trimester. So I was quite... I'd already practiced getting through a traumatic time, and they're not comparable, cancer and miscarriage. They're both vile in their own specific ways. But I had that seed in my mind where I was like, well, I'm going to be okay. And if I'm not okay, I'm actually okay with that, because it is what it is. I can't change it. I just have to be okay with what I'm going through right now, because I don't really have another choice. I'm relying on the medical professionals to tell me exactly what I need to do, where I need to go, you know, what food I need to eat. And I'm going, yep, okay. As long as I'm doing that, I've got no control over it. It's literally out of your control. But there were people around me who were losing it a little bit. Well, what are you going to do? What are they going to do? Can they fix this? Can you get there? I'm going, I don't know. It's all right though. We'll just ride it out. I'm sure I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it must have been a scary time for everybody, but you know, other people probably listening to this. I hope there are people listening to this now and getting strength from this in their own situation, thinking, well, if Verity can do it, I'm sure I can too. Have you spoke to a lot of survivors and things since then?
Yeah, so like I said, I was really open on the socials, and not, you know, only Facebook, or I did a bit on Instagram as well. But I had a lot of people reach out to me, especially while I was going through treatment, saying, oh, I've found a lump, or my friend's found a lump, or what do I need to do? And I was like, okay, well, this is nice, because I've been there. I know what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, first thing, get to the doctors. What are you doing telling me about it? Go to the doctors. But then I was able to go, this is more than likely the route that the doctors will take you down. You know, they'll refer you, you'll have an appointment within this time, they'll do this scan, that scan, it will take that amount of time. And that just took a little bit of anxiety away from people, because their expectation was more, oh, I sort of know what I'm expecting now. Whereas for me, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I'm not very good at, I didn't ask anyone either, because I thought everyone's journey is so different. And I got a few people going, oh, well, my auntie 2 years ago, and my mum 14 years ago. And I thought, well, yeah, my mum had it. My at the time husband's mum had it, and there's been people in my family and in my life, but I thought it's different. So some people will take the courage and information from those around them. I didn't. I was like, you know, I've just got to deal with this myself. Because it's all very well hearing everyone else's story. But I didn't find it. I was like, oh, good for you. Good.
Well, you know, we did the great interview with Lorraine a few weeks ago, and it was really great. I love that. I mean, it was great to hear you guys talking amongst yourselves, because you both had both separate experiences and similarities, huge similarities when it came to your treatment. And you know, that bit where you were talking about the treatment ward and people walking up and down farting, and I love that so much, because you guys just took over, and that's exactly what I wanted. Because I was kind of panicking about the whole interview. Not panicking because, like I said earlier in the podcast, I can talk about anything, and I love conversation and I love finding out facts. But I feel like me not being from that world and not knowing much about it, apart from my relatives and my friends that have been affected by cancer, it was great to bring you in. So thank you so much for helping with that.
It was. I thought it was wonderful.
It was really good.
So speaking to Lorraine and hearing her experiences, they do. I don't know if I came across right then, because I said, "Oh, it doesn't." I don't. Every journey is comparable and yet incomparable.
Yeah.
It depends on your own personal circumstances, your own personal mindset. So hearing about other survivors and other people's journey, of course, I just thought, you are a fantastic person. How absolutely wicked. But when I was going through it myself, I was like, I can't put too much weight on other people's journeys, because I brilliant for them, but I don't know what's happening with myself.
And you
I
had
just
different
need
life
to-
experiences as well.
Yeah.
You had your sister to help you get through it, and you to help her to get through it.
Absolutely.
You know, and as well, we had lots of really good comments about pod aids from your brother as well, which is really funny. Like, again, social things. When I'm not doing the school running things, I'm not like Biscuit Al. I'm kind of like Alex. You know,
Hello.
hi, how's it going? So when your brother came up to me on the school program, I was like, I really enjoyed that. You did a great job. I was kind of like, thank you. Thank you very much. But not just that, though. We had tons of great comments.
Yeah.
It was a really good experience.
Yeah, it was wicked.
And Pod Aid will be back this year. I've got big plans for Pod Aid this year. I want to keep changing my mind, but we need to start planning it very soon. But one of the ideas was to find 3 different venues rather than just one, and we can take it to different places around Shrewsbury or Shropshire, even, or even wherever it is. So we can like for example, set up a little mini studio in the town square.
Yeah.
You know, and then speak to people, and you know, have fun things going on there. Maybe do something at like Theatre 7 or the Whitman Theatre and charge people to come in and watch.
That sounds
Make
wicked.
some donations that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got some great plans for Pod Aid, and for the Biscuit as well. I'm very grateful to have you here to talk about things other than cancer, of course, which is a great thing, but to have some fun with it. You know, we can find so many people to speak to, and you know, since the year has begun. I mean, I put the mic down for a few weeks because I got really ill.
I think everyone got ill over Christmas.
Oh, it's horrible.
There was so much going around. It was insane. I had some sort of respiratory something. As soon as I recovered from that, I had tonsillitis. It was horrible.
Yeah, I couldn't talk, walk, breathe. Like,
gosh.
I went to work on Christmas night, which is, you know, it was bad. But like, I was meant to work Christmas Eve, Boxing Day night, and the night after. Christmas night, I went to work. I could barely walk. I was coughing so much. My head was spinning. I was nearly passing out.
Oh my!
The nausea was ridiculous. You know, when you do the gun, the temperature gun, it was going orange and all kinds of, and you know, it was really bad. So I was like, I don't know how I drove home, but I did. The nausea was so bad. I was kind of like, I had lockets. I remember I bought lockets from the garage to get through.
Thinking that'll cure it.
Well, no, because it was more of a case of if I go into a coughing fit while I'm driving.
Oh,
I'm screwed really, because I got no control over it. I'll have to pull over.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, get the lockets, stop myself from coughing, and then I got home and just exploded. You know, it was horrible. But that knocked me out for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Straight up in bed for 3 days. It was horrible. I went to doctors and they were like, your lungs are fine. You just got a chest infection. Flick me on the ear. Off you go. Take some antibiotics.
I was going to say, did you get any pills?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amoxicillin. You know, that's
very nice.
And I'm feeling much better now. And you know, I carried on doing podcasts, but the podcast I did with Alyssa, I was kind of like that. All right, how's it going? Yeah, I've been poorly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was really.
That sounds like it.
Yeah.
Scary.
But since we've started again, we've got some great interviews lined up, some great events as well. We're going to be speaking to James Broxton from Get Your Wiggle On. Great guy. Timmy started. It's really funny because Timmy auditioned for The Son of Pinocchio, which is Get Your Wiggle On, the production company. They're putting that on, and we thought, Timmy did a few classes with KG Theatre. He's great at stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we thought, we'll just try him out, see what happens. And he got a role.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So we started doing the auditions and getting ready and stuff before he's even started at Get Your Wiggle On.
Wow.
And James came out because they've got a new premises now in town. It's you know, as you come out the museum, turn right, and there's like the House of Fraser, the back of House of Fraser.
Yeah.
The building that's next to that. Anyway, they got this amazing new studio. I did a TikTok and I want to find more about it. So anyway, James came out. I was like, is this your kid? Is that your kid? I was like, yeah. He goes, no wonder he's so good. I was like, oh, bless him.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, we're going to be chatting. I think we're going to be doing that. Highly Flammable. Big shout out to Aaron Child, great guy, runs Highly Flammable. Well, we're going to be doing that on the same day. We chat to Becky Lisney. Another podcast that we got lots of great comments about, a photographer that focuses on body positivity with women. Let's go out into the woods and get naked and take pictures, no matter what you like, empowerment. She was fantastic, but she wants to meet in person and redo it. She really enjoyed it, so we're going to be speaking to her as well. And Stephen Marshall, who came on from Stephen Marshall Coaching, he's got an event at Highly Flammable on the 26th of January. So all these three interviews are all highly flammable related. So I messaged Aaron Child and I was like, yo, Aaron, our universes are colliding. It's really, really cool. So there's so much going on.
Yeah, that's wicked.
I've got a conversation I think would be great for the first show of the year. New Year's resolutions. Have you got any New Year's resolutions?
Do you know what I've done? Because last year was an absolute horror show for me.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It was back to back from start to finish. Yeah. Horror. I thought, I'm not having that again. I'm not having it. So I don't know. You're obviously on TikTok. I don't know if you've heard of the Lucky Girls.
No.
Where, right. So it started off, I'm pretty sure it started off with two girls sat in a car eating noodles. They're American. And they were just explaining that they say, I'm just so lucky because, what is it? Things just go my way. Oh no, everything works out for me. I'm just so lucky because everything works out for me. So I've been putting that out into the ether. I'm going, yeah, I'm so lucky because everything works out for me. So far, nothing terrible's happened, so it's okay. But what I've actually made for this year is a list of 101 things that I want to either do or achieve in 2023.
I want a copy of this list. For the podcast, at least. I mean,
okay, well, it's not all family friendly, but it's mostly family friendly.
Well, we can bounce around it and find.
Have to edit it.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it. We might not be able to read it out, but I definitely want to see this list. That's great.
It's a good one. It's quite comprehensive. It covers, like all warps of living. Oh,
great! I think one New Year's resolution. It's a great idea because you make one and you go, I didn't do it this year. I feel terrible. Yeah. Whereas if you have a checklist,
failed in January. Yeah,
I wasn't going to make one. I wasn't going to make one, but I always do the whole be a better person.
Yeah,
be probably a bit more positive.
Yeah, well, it's. I think you can be really general with a New Year's resolution. With my 101 things, I've managed to break it all down. So, for example, to be a better person. There, I want to find at least 3 eco-alternative products to use as a daily. So I use quite a lot of eco when I come across it anyway, but there's that sort of thing. And I'm sure I've got more that would equate to me maybe being a better person. I can't think off the top of my head.
One of my New Year's resolutions a couple of years ago was to use bamboo toothbrushes, right? Sounds daft. Eco-friendly.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, but the bristles aren't hard enough and they don't have a tongue scrubber.
Oh.
So it's hard. It's a hard one.
So that was a few years ago. If you look again, they might have been...
Maybe.
Something might have been
I still got a couple because they sell them in packs of 3. My wife wasn't interested. So I was like... So I've still got a bamboo toothbrush underneath my sink. But I was like, I need my tongue scrubber. You know the... Yeah. So this year, my resolution was going to be... And this is going to sound terrible. Now, listeners, let me know if this is bad or not. I'm aware my battery's on one thing, so I might have to change my batteries. I did mention this. I forgot that I need batteries to run this show. It's been a while, guys. But my one New Year's resolution was going to be not to take any crap off people.
Oh,
is that bad?
No, that's just
stop saying yes to people or sorry or.
It's just acknowledging your boundaries.
Yeah,
that's just saying actually. I have to look after myself a little bit. Can't say yes to absolutely everything, no matter how much I want to. Sounds like you're already doing that by, knocking some other things on the head to concentrate.
Stop trying to please so many people.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you have to be a jerk about it. You can still be decent.
Just no.
Get out of my face. No. You can just be like, oh, that sounds great. It's not for me though, but all the best.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. I don't think that's a bad one at all. I think I've suffered with my boundaries over the years and what I've put up with versus to my own detriment,
I think once you have that awareness, once you know you're doing it.
Yeah. It's a transformation. And
it's not always other people's fault either. Sometimes it's my fault. Sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like Christmas, I burnt myself out. Sort of end of November, December, I was kind of like, wow. Like I was releasing that much content on the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I oversaturated my own content.
Goodness.
I was releasing 3 shows a week. I was like, this is stupid. People don't know what they're listening to. They're kind of like, what's this? Got Biscuit one week, Biscuit International, and Horses and Biscuits, and what's going on? So yeah, I need to. It affects everything as well. It affects my family life and everything. Yeah. So yeah, just it's more. I'm not going to be more. Originally, it was going to be more of a beep. but I've realised no, that's terrible, because you can have a grip of your boundaries.
Yes.
Without being an asshole.
Literally, yeah, you can. It's just about being kind to yourself, and I think if you do it with kindness and with good intentions, you're not going to be. You're not going to come across a jerk anyway.
But I like your list idea as well.
It's brilliant. I should have bought it in.
Have you won any? Have you won it? Have you?
I've ticked one off already, because obviously I was bold 2 years ago, and one of my things to do this year was get a haircut, which I did yesterday. Not that you can tell.
You look great. You look great.
Thanks so much. Yeah. So one was to get a haircut.
I forgot what it's like to have a haircut.
Sorry, I don't want to boast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of them are ongoing. So like when my life flipped on its bum last year, my TV went into retirement. I'd flicked it off at the wall and it just didn't come on for months. And it was lovely because I just didn't have space in my head for more external nonsense in the world. So I was like...
Are you talking like soaps or news or what?
I don't watch soaps. No. I don't watch the news really either. I'm a little bit too delicate for it all, so I just steer clear from that. Yeah. But general just background nonsense, like watching a film, just investing in documentaries, and some of them are great, but I found that I was just putting the TV on and then slumping, and then I'd be on my phone, I'd be doing this. I wasn't really being productive with my life at all. So when my TV went into retirement, probably for about 3 months, I thought, this is brilliant. I love it. Yeah. And then it came out of retirement for music, for, YouTube and Spotify or whatever.
You can also listen to the Shrewsbury Biscuit. I'm joking.
Yeah. But then I got ill. I had like 3 days worth of like a summer cold. Is that even normal? I'm not sure. But anyway, And then my TV came out of retirement and I just sort of watched it aimlessly for a few days because I just felt rubbish. And it's been out of retirement ever since. It's just on in the background, and I think it stops me from doing things.
I mean, background noise saved my life, really, I'd say, because the job I do now is I work on my own during the nights in an office.
Ooh.
And like I worked with hundreds of people before, and I was just listening to nothing.
Oh God!
Can you imagine that? Right, so
it sounds painful.
I decided to put on. Someone was like, "Oh, do you listen to podcasts?" And I was like, "What's a podcast?" And somebody was like, "Oh, yeah, do you like Kevin Smith?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love Kevin Smith, Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob and all that." And so they were like, they give me a list of podcasts that he makes. He's one of the pioneers of podcasts, and I think I love Kevin Smith more for the podcasting than the movies, which is really weird because I do like Clerks and I do like Jay and Silent Bob, but what he did in like Hollywood Babylon was a podcast that was held at the Improv. So it was a live show on a stage with Ralph Garman, and it was just groundbreaking for me. It just like hearing the audience laugh to some of the stuff that they were doing, and they had Ralph Garman doing his Sylvester Stallone impressions and all these sort of things. It was just brilliant, and I love that, and that's kind of that helped me, just having a bit of noise in the background.
Yeah,
because. It was horrible just not having anything to listen to, or
that would drive me insane.
Made me appreciate people who leave the radio on for the dogs. I'm not gonna lie.
I do it every day.
Just leave the radio on for the dogs.
Yeah.
For me, it's been the gaming. My wife bought me a game that I don't really do gaming. I used to an awful lot. But being ill, that really helped me. So I've just had something to do. Do you know what I mean? Horizon Forbidden West. Fight metal robots and stuff.
It would probably give me nightmares, but as long as you enjoy it.
But with this year coming up, we've got. I'm going to be working closely with you, Verity, and finding, because if I can't go to an event, I'll be like, "Yo, Verity, take the microphone."
Okay.
I mean, I've tried to bring in co-hosts before, and I think the problem I've had with it is I don't want to treat you as a co-host. You have to here and there if you want to be, if you can be,
Yeah.
And I can give you the H6, the microphone, to go out and speak to people.
Yeah, you'll have to give me the full lowdown. I'll have to take notes and everything.
Absolutely. Well,
how it all works.
Well, I'm doing a workshop. Obviously, I'll show you how it works anyway. But I'm doing a workshop at Highly Flammable Studios.
Yeah.
So I'm not. By the way, they're not paying me to talk about Highly Flammable. I just love Aaron so much. We're going to be doing a workshop for podcasts, so I can teach people who don't know how to make podcasts how to produce their very own podcast, record, edit, produce, release. So that'd be quite good.
That is cool.
Yes, it is. I'm really looking forward to it. But I want to create a new format for the show as well, just to get you more involved and to offer something that isn't straight into the interview. I want to get a bit more personable with the biscuit. So we're going to do like a 15-minute catch-up segment, I think, every week.
Wonderful.
What have you been up to? How many things you ticked off your list?
I fill my life with a lot of nonsense, so I can. I'm down with that.
Well, you know what? I mean, like, there's a good opportunity to talk about new shops that have opened in Shrewsbury or new things that's going on. There's a great opportunity there for people to talk about things that are current on. Yeah. So we have to do our interviews and then find a little bit of 15 minutes, whether it's virtually or here or wherever we can record.
I told my friend Tara about this. I think you know her.
I know Tara,
Lingon Davis.
Yeah, hi Tara.
Hi Tara. She'll be thrilled that I've mentioned her name because she's been fuming so far that I haven't, which just amuses me.
It sounds like her.
Yeah. Yes, that sounds.
I know
right.
well enough to say that. I think. I love those guys at Lingon Davis.
Yeah. They're fabulous. But I told Tara. You know what the new format was and what you were thinking, and she went, Verity, you don't know what's going on outside your own garden. I was like, that is true, actually. She was like, every time you're about to do a podcast, you're gonna have to call me. I'll tell you what's been going on in the town. And I was like, brilliant, thanks, Tara.
Well, actually, Tara, if you listen to this, we could take phone calls into the show. So I mean, if you're struggling, Verity, we'd be like, right, let's go to our correspondent.
Yeah. Because you ask me what's going on, I'll be like, oh well, my dog had a really nice walk yesterday. That was lovely.
Well, maybe between us we can find out what's going on across the town in a nice way, because we are lucky to live in a great town. There's always something great going on. Yeah. There's that kid who went on The Voice. There was a kid that went on The Voice Kids. We'd speak to her maybe. There's all sorts of artsy things going on. In town and. Yeah.
Luckily, on my list of 101 things to do, there are certain classes and experiences that I want to do. So that I'll get the Shrewsbury lowdown. I'll experience more of it this year.
We can incorporate your list into the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We'll have to bleep out the blue bits though.
Yeah.
But I think we all need a list like that, though. I think we need a list of goals. And Nick Jones borrowed me this book. I'll have to send it to you. It's actually really good. It's just from a business point of view, but I feel like we can all take something from this book. I've forgotten the name of it. It was an ebook he sent to me, but it was about what was it called? Let me have a look and try to find the name of the book. I think I put the page out, but it's talking about ideals and goals. So an ideal is like looking at the horizon constantly looking at forward. So we get to the horizon. What does the horizon do? It moves further back.
Yeah.
The idea is creating goals to reach the ideals.
Yeah.
And I feel like we can do that with the Shrewsbury Biscuit via your list. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what I've done there?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. It's going to be really, really exciting. Is there anything that you'd like to do with the Shrewsbury Biscuit? Is there anything anywhere in Shrewsbury or anyone you'd like to speak to?
My goodness. On the spot, I can't think of anything. I will think about that one and get back to you because there will be loads in my head.
We've got a festival to go to. We've got events. There's a kids festival in February we're going to be going to.
Nice.
So we're going to set up a studio there. I'm going to give Timmy a microphone, get him and go around doing interviews with kids and stuff. That'll be fun.
Amazing.
And there's the stuff we do with Beth Heath, the Oktoberfest later on in the year, and there's going to be so much to do.
Yeah,
there's going to be so much to do. Listeners as well. I mean, get in touch. Let us know what you guys would like us to do. If there's anybody you'd like to us to speak to on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, anywhere you'd like us to go, then let us know. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're rounding up 45 minutes. We better cut this short before my battery died. Can't believe I've done this.
Before it does it for you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the first show. I'm sorry it's late, by the way. I should have had a show ready for the first week in January, but I was poorly. I really was genuinely poorly.
You can't help being poorly.
No, you can't. And I ain't taking that. I'm poorly, I'm resting, and I ain't going out there and
don't take
pleasing other people. Yeah, I ain't taking it.
You had to have me a rest.
Yeah, absolutely. But we've been trickling out those Biscuit International episodes. If you enjoyed them, let us know as well. And also, I want to give a shout out before we get out of here to Web Orchard as well, who are making a brand new state-of-the-art website for us.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah. I went to a meeting with Pete White, who, the CEO there. He showed me the kind of website that he wants for us.
Yeah.
And I nearly cried.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I was like, oh yes, please, because like with a lot of businesses, a website isn't kind of like relevant these days. Social media is really, really important, isn't it? You know, mostly. But like if there was a place you go to find it's like a hub, isn't it? Social media's over here, our episodes are over here, maybe some write-ups about some of the guests are over here, and here's our sponsors. Everybody gets to look at everything that the Biscuit's involved with, so we've got that to look forward to. But so guys, if you need a website, but doesn't matter what you're doing, if you've got a business or a podcast or a band or whatever it is, go to Web Orchard. They're local, they're on Coton Hill, but wherever you are in the world or the UK, I'm sure they can build a website just for you.
Great, sounds good.
Brilliant.
That sounds exciting.
Well, Verity, thank you so much for answering the call. We're also looking for a producer, by the way. If you know anybody that maybe wants to delve into a bit of editing, can find us new guests and can help us with our schedule and help around just making sure the show runs perfectly. If anybody is interested, please get in touch with us. You can message me on Facebook or email me at shrewsburybiscuitpodcast@gmail.com. But Verity, thank you so much for joining the team.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We're going to sync up diaries and stuff now, so we best go. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Thanks ever so.
Peace out.